All right, we're back again. Had a quick little interruption. Again, this is the Wellness Preacher tapping in. I just want to talk to you about the importance of purpose. And as you can see, I had the title here, this film, The Last Airbender. And yes, I took some notes from watching this film, The Last Airbender, because it was dealing with purpose. And if you ever had a conversation with me, you know that purpose is very important to me. Purpose is something that helps us to reduce our stress, reduce the amount of wasted time, and much more. And it also gives us that confidence and that strength of knowing that we have a purpose, we have a reason for existing. Many of us are walking around and not believing that we have a reason for being here. We think that our parents just laid down and had sex and had us, and that's why we are here, because our parents were horny and our mother was ovulating and she decided not to abort us. Shout out to all the mothers that decided not to abort us so that we can listen to this video from the Wellness Preacher today. Anyway, so there's a few things that stuck out to me in this movie about purpose. And the number one thing that stuck out to me about purpose, especially dealing with the main character of this film, was that he, being a young man, he knew what his purpose was. And once he was taught or made aware, not taught, but made aware of what his purpose was in life, he was uncomfortable with certain aspects of his purpose. So he ran away. And avoided becoming who he was supposed to be. Now, according to the film, it was about 100 years. He ended up being frozen in ice, and he ended up being found and unthawed, whatever, but it was 100 years. So there's a part in this film where they're trying to capture he's the Avatar. They're trying to capture the Avatar, because the Avatar is the only one that can control all the elements of their air bending qualities. You have to watch the movie to get that part understand. But anyway, so the four elements: water, earth, fire, air. He's the only one. The Avatar is the only one who can master all four elements. However, when he found out that, becoming the Avatar, he wouldn't be able to have a family, he didn't like that. He did not like the fact that he couldn't have a family, so he abandoned his purpose. And back on the scene that I was mentioning a second ago, there's a scene where he's lured into this, this sacred area where there's statues of him in his previous life, because the Avatar comes around and goes to every generation or every couple of years, something like that, right? I'm not like an airbender expert or Naruto, whatever that is. But anyway, so he abandons his purpose. He's led down to this thing, and there's this man that led him down there. And they're having a discussion, and the old man's feeling bad. You can see it in his face. He's like, man, I wish you... He said, no, I'm sorry. He said, you seem to be a good guy. You seem to be a good young man. I hope that you can forgive me. And he says, what are you talking about? He to lure you down here. Then, of course, he sees the trap and the people are there to try to kill him or capture him or whatever. So one thing that the guy that betrayed him said, he says, I wrote it down. He said, I have lived in poverty because of your absence. Now think about that. Because he denied his purpose, because he was not comfortable with the aspects of his purpose as he's seen it, or as he heard, or as he was told by those before him, or those who were teaching him. The elders were teaching him about his purpose, and he became uncomfortable with that, so he abandoned his purpose. And one thing that stuck out to me immediately about this film is that from the moment they found him out of the ice and he's unthawed, he knew what his purpose was. He knew who he had the potential to be. It wasn't a mystery. It wasn't something that he had to discover, And many of us are walking around like that. Many of us know what our purpose is. We know, or we have an idea what our purpose is, but most of us know what our purpose is. We're just not ready to accept it. We don't like the aspects of our purpose. Some of us are born to do things that may require us not to have a family. Some of us are born to do things that may require us to have a family. It just depends. Your purpose is your purpose. The sooner you accept it, the sooner you will be able to empower many more people. Why would God give us a purpose for existing on his planet, on his earth, within his universe, and not have something for us to do? The grass has purpose. The trees, the ants, the bugs have purpose. They have a system, they have laws, they have structure. So do we. However, God gave us free will. He gave us the ability to make decisions on our own and gave us the ability to decide for ourselves what it is that we want to do. We can choose to discover our purpose and fulfill our purpose, or we can abandon our purpose, or we can never even think about it. And often when I have conversations with people and ask them, like, what were you born for? What is your purpose? Many times they are saying, their response is, I don't know. I never thought about that. But why not? Why have you not thought about your purpose? Why have you not realized that you were born for a reason? Your circumstances and your condition is only a piece to the puzzle of what you were born to do. The trials and tribulations and the heartaches and breaks that we go through in life and that we experience have a purpose and a reason for them. And often, if we take a second and just look into what that is, or look into those things that we have gone through, look into the things that's true to ourselves. When you really start looking at what's true to you, who are you? What makes you cry? What makes you smile? What makes you laugh? What makes you happy? What do you get joy from? What do you enjoy doing? What's natural to you? The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that one way that we can identify what our purpose is something that's natural to us. And one thing that I've realized is natural to me is the ability to care, the ability to want to see other people do better, the ability to want to serve. Those are my qualities. That's my purpose. My purpose is to serve you. My purpose is to help you discover your purpose and help you to fulfill that. Now, I'm not going to hold your hand. That's not my purpose. My purpose isn't to hold your hand and carry you through the finish line. That's not how the marathon works. Okay? So we all have to condition ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, so that we can be able to do the things that we have to do to fulfill our purpose. The responsibilities of the avatar is very heavy. And the responsibility of some of our community leaders, some of our activists, and some of the people that stood up and accepted their purpose of being activists or revolutionaries is very stressful, tedious, and is very demanding. Can you imagine if we never had somebody accept the responsibility of a revolutionary or an activist or someone who stands up against injustice? Can you imagine having a world where someone totally didn't care about justice? Can you imagine living in a world where someone totally didn't care about doing hair? Think about that. Yes. Beauticians have a purpose. Barbers have a purpose. Every person that cut hair ain't supposed to be cutting hair. Y'all know that. Some of y'all have been to some bad salons, some bad barbers. You know, don't minimize what your purpose can be is my point of making that statement. If you're the barber, if you're the hairstylist, that's great. Do you know that most hairstylists and barbers are actually counselors? Do you know that when them people sit in your chair for 45 minutes to 2 to 3 hours, depending on what y'all getting done on the woman's side, or even some of the brothers, with our locks and things like that, the washing and the locking and retwisting, things can take some time, right? So when you're sitting there and you choose to have certain conversations, and somebody has been doing your hair for years, they begin to become familiar with your family. They become familiar with your occupation. They become familiar with what it is that you're interested in. If you're being honest in a chair when you're having a discussion with them, right? So if you're being honest and you're talking to them, you're building that relationship, and occasionally they're going to share some information with you. They're going to share something with you while you're in that chair of wisdom. Everybody can't do that, right? So you have to be willing to accept whatever your purpose may be. Some people are born to drive. Some people are born to drive. You have people who get into cabs and Ubers and Lyfts and are on a bus, and the driver has a word of wisdom for them. The driver has something of value and importance for them. The driver is happy about their job, whether it's a school bus, whether it's a ride share, whether it's a whatever it is that they're doing in transportation, limousine chauffeurs, all the above. They all have accepted their purpose or a piece of it. Now, I'm not saying every person that's a driver is that. I'm not saying that. But from my own personal experience in transportation, I know that when you have a person in your vehicle and there's a conversation, but I've had many people get in my car, and I used to drive a cab and do Uber and Lyft, and they just needed a word. They just needed a moment of inspiration or a reality check or even a reminder. You know, many people just need someone to point them in the right direction in the moments, and it may come through somebody that's driving them somewhere. The point is, don't think that your purpose has to be somebody that has to be on the forefront. It has to be something in the bright lights. Have to be somebody that everybody's aware of. That's not for everybody. If everybody was in the forefront of every situation, nobody would still be able to see nobody. It wouldn't even work. There's a system to life that we have to accept. There's a system to life that we have to respect. And on another note, in the same movie, you know, the young man, he definitely had a good heart. You could see that he had a good heart. You could see that he wanted to accept his purpose. And he, of course, he ended up doing it. It's a movie, right? He ended up doing it. And the things, a few things that stuck out to me. Again, it's a lot. You know, whenever you are engaging in things, you know, watching TV, taking a walk, or having a conversation with somebody, you should always be looking for the lesson, always looking for the cues. There's always something in everything that we're doing to teach us something to keep us focused, something to remind us that we have something bigger to do, something that's bigger than us. If we can get out of this me mentality in a selfish way, and we start looking at the bigger picture, it will empower us to empower others. Let's go back to the part where the guy told him when he betrayed him, he set him up. He set him up because he was poor. He set him up because he was tired of living a poverty-stricken life. And in his judgment in that time to make that decision to betray the so-called or the avatar, he felt like he was right. How many people in your circle, in your family, that are people that you don't came across that if you accepted your purpose 5 years ago, how many people could you have touched? How many people could you have empowered or helped? How many people could you prevent from being homeless? Some of us are thinking about starting nonprofit organizations that deal with various realities and situations, and then we may have this epiphany, or we have this moment where we're thinking about something, and then we allow ourselves to get fearful. We allow ourselves to be quote unquote too busy. We allow ourselves to be pretty much punked out of following what's on our heart. And I think that many things can be much better, or things will be better the sooner, the faster that we accept our purpose. The sooner we get on a journey of purpose, our blood pressure will go down. The cancers will go away. The beefing, the arguing, the drama will go away, because when you have purpose on your mind and you are in line and on that path of purpose, you don't have time to be arguing over no Popeye's chicken. You don't care about what Jay-Z is doing. You don't like it's funny to me, because I really could care less. Anybody know me know I don't get into extra stuff. I don't get into nothing that I don't know about. I don't know about NFL. But what I've noticed is I see everybody commenting about Jay-Z and Kaepernick. But I ain't seen Kaepernick say nothing himself. His wife says something, his girl's wife, whoever she is, according to the sources and things that I've seen. But Kaepernick ain't said nothing. Like, we overdo stuff. Like, you can have your opinion, about what it is. You're entitled to your opinion, but that don't make your opinion mean a damn thing. I mean, who's in your life telling you what to do with your finances and your resources, right? What's your purpose? How is your family life? So I ain't got too much to say tonight. I just wanted to come on here and share with you these few words about purpose. I truly believe that the sooner we get focused on purpose, it will allow us to see life totally different. It'll assist us with managing our time better and picking out how we spend our time. I believe that if we find our inner avatar, our ability to master the forces of life. In this movie, the forces of life our elements was water, earth, fire, and air, right? So I've been thinking, how can we transform them? How can we transform and translate that to a different situation? So can we say, if we accept our purpose, we can learn how to master and control the drama in our life, our finances, our spirituality, our well-being, our wellness. A lot of us are losing our minds. And you know how they're getting us to lose our minds? Through social media, through the music, through the food, and the films. Those four that I just named, if we can master those four and we can learn how to eat the proper foods, have the proper thoughts, and protect our bodies and our minds from these chemicals and these hidden messages that our brains can pick up. You see, it's another part of this movie that I really didn't want to get into, but I guess I'm going to have to get into it right now. Because it's not on purpose, but it's a part of it. So, the part of this movie, The Last Airbender, the young man ran away from his home. When he ran away, remember, he was gone for 100 years. The Fire Nation is one of the enemies and one of the main enemies in the film. Is the Fire Nation. They can control fire. That's what they use. They use fire. They went and destroyed the air nomads, which is where the Avatar came from. There's a bunch of monks that he lived with, right? And these monks, y'all see my book collection back there? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, you see Nipsey. Come on, man. Don't get it twisted. All that, right? So, but anyway, so they destroyed where they knew the Avatar would come from, because the Avatar has the ability to change everything. And if the Avatar came on deck to change everything, that would ruin the Fire Nation. Wanted to be, like Trump. You know how Trump is? Trump want to be the king. He want to be the most powerfulest person on the earth, right? That's Trump. So Trump is the Fire Nation. So the Fire Nation, so Trump, they decided that, you know what, we're going to bomb them. We're going to destroy them because we know that a powerful person is going to come from them, right? So now, for me, being a student of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the way I see that is, we know the crack epidemic, the crack epidemic in the 80s, right? Now we dealing with opioids and meth and other drugs, right? Where are those drugs being planted at the most? Why are they there? Those drugs and those things that's implemented in the poverty-stricken communities, in the original communities of the original people, the original people's communities, that's being tormented and plagued with these elements of distraction, these elements of death. Why are they there? They are there because our open enemy know that a powerful people exist there, so they want to do everything in their power to keep them in bondage, keep them fussing and fighting and arguing over Popeye's chicken, and keep them distracted from their true gifts and powers. If you're focused on Popeye's chicken, you're not even thinking about your purpose. If I could keep you distracted, I can keep you vulnerable. I can keep you weak. So This Fire Nation, Trump, his whole thing, their whole thing was power. They wanted to be the ultimate power. So they went and bombed all these people in the sacred place where they were praying. Where they would go to pray, they bombed them or put them on fire, according, the way it looked, according to the movie. But you take that, the Muslim brothers said they're going to put messages in their movies. And that's going to be a way of them saying, hey, we told y'all who we were. We told y'all. We told you who you were. We showed you movies and we showed you clips and we done this. And a lot of us don't really like anime or animated films. But I realized they're able to put more stuff in non-fiction and animated films or whatever to get things through. You know what I mean? But when you look, and even some movies, they got it. You know what I mean? But it's more stuff coming out. And I'm going to leave that alone. But anyway, when you're watching a movie, stop just watching it for entertainment. Stop watching TV for entertainment. When you watch the news, when you watch films, when you listen to music, listen for the message. Because if the message is being planted without your awareness, you can start to behaving, we can start to behaving other than ourselves and don't even understand why. Music was a tool that Hitler used to hypnotize some of his soldiers. Music was used before Hitler for hypnotists. And I believe, I'm not the expert in this, but I've heard and read that music, the word muse, meant enchantment. It meant like something to do with the mind, to plant seeds, to plant information. So I want you to realize, especially to the original people, and when I say the original people, I'm talking about the blacks, I'm talking about our Mexican family, our Asian family. Those are the original people of the planet. And what I want you to understand is our communities are not in the condition that they are in for no reason. We have an open enemy that keeps our mind plagued with certain things. And when I was driving medical transportation or taxi cab, I went all over Arizona. I went all over the different cities, different sectors, man. And I realized that in some of them areas where they care about their community, they don't have liquor stores on every corner. Hell, they don't even have churches on every corner. Think about that. How is it that we got churches on every corner and still got the highest drug, murder, and all these other issues that we have? If the church is supposed to be a safe haven, right? The church is supposed to be an empowering resource in the community. What's going on? What's being taught, right? So, excuse the gaps and the pauses, man. I came on to say one thing about purpose, but when my spirit is telling me to say something else, I'm learning to just obey. So, I'm going to go ahead and accept this one. I'm going to set my purpose for this video tonight. So, again, we have to be mindful of what's going on in our communities. We have to be mindful of what's being said to us, what's distracting us. When you get in line with purpose, it's kind of like a beacon, I'm going to say a bullshit beacon. You know what I'm saying? A time-wasting beacon. You know what I'm saying? When you get focused on your purpose and why God bless you to live this long, why are you still here? Why you came from the messed up family you come from? Why were you in a messed up relationships and marriages? Why were you abused and neglected? And why is your bank account looking the way that it looked? All those things happen for a reason and a season. We know that, right? But now it's time to pull out the lesson. Stop bragging about being shot and going to jail and pull out the lesson. Stop bragging about what you've been through and start giving us the lesson, right? So that we can learn from your experiences so that you can empower us. Some people like to brag about their trials and their tribulations and what they've been through, but they still going through the same trials and the same tribulations. That doesn't make sense. You have not got the lesson. You have not realized that you are missing some steps. Okay? Purpose. Purpose. Realize that you have a purpose for existing. Realize that there's somebody that knows your value. There's somebody who understands your potential to their demise. So therefore, they're doing everything in their power to keep us distracted, keep you distracted, keep you going from man to man, woman to woman, club to club, church to church, problem to problem. Quitting this assignment, jumping from this assignment, not staying focused. Right? The moment you decide to do something right, you give up. Why? What's triggering you? Who knows your plans and how you moving? What's really more valuable? Is completing your goals and assignments more valuable than giving up? Or is giving up more valuable? Think about it. How many times have you started over? How many times have you allowed yourself to repeat a season voluntarily? When we begin the journey of discovering our purpose, things start to clear up. When we identify our purpose, we have to get to the point of accepting our purpose. Those are the stages of finding and accepting your purpose. If you do not know what you are born to do, start studying yourself. Start analyzing what you've been through and how you respond to things. I'm not saying that the moment you discover your purpose or you have an idea, a feel-good moment, that it's going to be all perfect. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we are at war. Okay? That's the point of what I'm saying. We are at war and we are losing because most of us can be so distracted so easily. I'm sitting on, I don't understand, this Popeye thing, man. That was embarrassing to me. That was very embarrassing to see some of the stuff that I see in regards to this Popeyes situation. Straight up. People fighting in Popeyes, people talking about standing in lines for, first of all, is Popeyes even good for you? Is Popeyes even healthy? Last time that I checked, Fried Foods wasn't on the list of healthy products. The reports is millions of chicken sandwiches, aka millions of death, was purchased. We put in these chemicals into our bodies and we wonder why we so damn foolish. Go ask Popeyes for the ingredients to their chicken. Go ask Popeyes for the ingredients to their meals, and we're going to find out what we really eating. Stop being so distracted. Stay focused. Some of y'all probably didn't even have the money to go to Popeyes, but you still went. Probably had 2 sandwiches. And if that's your thing, that's your thing, man. I'm not here to bash nobody, but what I'm saying is we got to get focused on our purpose. We have to realize that we have enemies out there. And I'm not talking about the opposite game that you chose to be a rivalry with. I'm not talking about the people you robbed and the people you violated who want to get you back. Those enemies I ain't talking about. Them enemies you made. I'm talking about your natural enemy that's here to... they literally plan and plot every day to keep us weak, keep us in projects, keep us thinking that we don't deserve nothing, keep us thinking that our life's supposed to be messed up. I'm out here in these trenches, man. I talk to some of these young people and they can't even read. How the hell you going from grade to grade and you can't read? Who the hell came up with that rule that it's okay to pass a child to the next grade and he can't even read? Come on, man. I bet you that ain't happening in white schools. I bet you that. That's why most of y'all be trying to send y'all children up there, then they get shot up. I'm not going to say that out loud. Did I say that out loud? Damn. Listen, again, we all have a purpose. We all have a reason for why our parents came together. We all have a reason for why we are breathing, why we've lived this long. I was watching an interview the other day and Snoop was like, man, he knew Snoop. Snoop knew Tupac. Snoop knew Nipsey. Snoop knew Biggie. And he like, man, what do you get? Like, man, I must be here for a reason. Because I know all these people have relationships with him. Got to learn something, right? He's still here for a reason. We still here for a reason. You're not just living to see people come and go for nothing. There's something dormant inside of us that we have to awaken. And the sooner we awaken what's inside of us that's laying dormant, we'll be able to empower not only just ourselves and change our reality from finances to I mean, when you looking on these Instagrams and you looking at the world through your social media, through your cell phone, you can see beautiful places, right? Well, let's stop looking at them on our phones and go there. What's stopping you from getting your bread right, getting your finances together, and going to Ghana, going to Europe, Paris, and these different places around the world? They there for us to go there. Some of us, I've had conversations with some people where they literally told me that they never left their neighborhoods. That blew me away. Like, even here in Phoenix, I've met people who never left the south side of Phoenix until they had a doctor's appointment. Like, I've literally had people in my car taking them to doctor's appointments, and they're like, wow, I've never seen this. Most of them are older people, but they're saying, hey, I grew up on this side of town, and that's just everything, what I needed was there. Stores there, schools there, my friends is there. I don't got to go nowhere else. But who put those type of thoughts in your mind to not want to travel, to not want to explore life? If you are limited to your city, you will never know what's out there. Again, I'm telling you, back on the movie, The Last Airbender, if you go check it out, you'll see the Fire Nation. The point I'm making with the Fire Nation, aka the Trumpsters, they wanted to be the most powerfulest individuals. Their ruler wanted to let the world know, hey, we are God. We are the strongest. We are the powerfulest. That's what they wanted, right? So what did they do? They went and destroyed where they knew the Avatar was coming from. The Avatar was their enemy, and they knew if this man is born, he's going to kill us. He's going to stop and change things. So we had to destroy him before he's even born. There's a story like that in the Bible, but that's another story. That's another video for y'all. And I'm saying that they wanted to kill it. They killed every single person there. They killed every single person there to prevent this Avatar from being born. Now, when you walk through your community, you seeing liquor stores, you seeing drug houses, you seeing all the things that's going on in certain spots, you be like, damn, why the police ain't shut them down yet? How long this dope house been here? How long this liquor store gonna keep selling liquor to the little children that ain't nowhere near 21? Selling Lucy's. Y'all know what Lucy's is. to the youngsters that can't even buy a pack. You know what I'm saying? These whorehouses that we got, these hotels that's doing the things they doing in our neighborhoods. The things that's keeping us poverty thinkers. We think poor. We think our hood's supposed to be fucked up. We think our community's supposed to be fucked up, and that's what Nipsey was trying to show us, that we don't have to live like that. That's why they want that property so bad. That's why he wanted to make sure that he turned that neighborhood into something beautiful. You don't got to go to Beverly Hills to see something nice. You don't got to go to Scottsdale to see something nice. You don't got to go to where the so-called Caucasians live to see something nice. We can build something nice right where we live at. We can turn our projects into condominiums. We can turn our projects into to outlets, into different places that's more attracting. Nipsey Hussle turned Slauson and Crenshaw to a tourist attraction. Him and his team. Why we can't turn the King Matters into a area of a tourist attraction, where cats is traveling all over the world to come and visit where we come from, to come see how much we value where we live at. You see, as long as our enemies keep us at odds with one another, or arguing over, we argue over every little thing, we bicker about every dumbass thing, man. Life is too beautiful to be bickering over every little dumbass thing. You got somebody mad because somebody posted about Popeye's chicken. Somebody mad because Jay-Z is dealing with the NFL. Somebody's mad because somebody got a car that they don't got. Somebody is mad because this person wearing red, this person's wearing blue. Somebody's mad because this person went to the gym for 10 hours a day and you still weigh 500 pounds. Somebody is mad because air is not cool. Like, people are mad or just bickering and have something to say for no reason. Like, what's the point of it all? What is... The point is to keep us distracted, right? That's what our enemies plan. They sit back and they just watch. Like, look at them. Look at them argue over Popeye's chicken. Look at them argue over this, that, other. Let me say this. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna leave off of the airbender. I'm gonna leave off of. I'm always on purpose. I'm gonna go to a different something that's been on my mind. There's a saying. I've been looking for this, and it's been on my mind for a minute. There's a saying that the greatest trick that Satan ever pulled was to convince the world that he didn't exist. Think about that. The greatest trick that Satan ever pulled was convincing the world that he did not exist. If we understand life, we understand the universe, everything is created on an equal and opposite. Everything has an opposite. Think about it. If everything has an opposite and Satan has convinced the world that he does not exist, therefore you have an atheist. God cannot exist if Satan does not exist. Good cannot exist if evil does not exist. Bad cannot exist if good does not exist. So if we're sitting here and we're having these conversations about there not being a God, there not being this, and there's not that, then Satan must have done a very good job. Satan is doing his job. Think about it. Many of us are so lost. We're so disconnected. We're so foolish. We have scriptures that tell us all the information we need, and yet we're still confused. We'd rather be fooled than schooled. I like that. We'd rather be fooled than schooled, man. Come on. We don't want to pick up a book. Again, that's some of my collection. All right, you see Nipsey, man. Come on. Can't show y'all everything. But the point I want to make is that we have to stop talking about stuff that don't make sense. We have to stop accepting things just on face value. Don't even accept what I say on face value. Go research what I say for yourself. Go pray, meditate, study, search for your higher power, and make it work for you. That's what I do. I am a student of the Honorable Mrs. Farrakhan, who is a student of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I take what they tell me and what the minister has said in my lifetime, what I've heard him say on videos, what I've read his literatures, and I search it for myself, and I connect it to myself to make sure that I understand it for myself, and then I regurgitate it in my actions to the best of my ability. Am I perfect? Hell no. Is my marriage perfect? Hell no. Is my bank account perfect? Hell no. Is my children perfect? Oh man, let's not even go there. So, the point I'm trying to make is, don't think just because someone opens their mouth that their life is perfect. That ain't how it works. I remember listening to an episode, listening to one of Les Brown's motivational speeches, and he was sharing how at one part of his life he was empowering people and on the air, empowering people and telling people how to be great, and he was broke as hell. He was saying, like, he was so broke, he was like, man, I'm over telling people how to do this and I'm struggling. And he had a point in that and everything, but you know what I'm saying? The point is, we gotta stop thinking that we ain't worth nothing, man. We gotta stop thinking that we deserve poverty. We ain't supposed to be poor. God ain't never seen that nowhere in the scripture where God says the niggas must be poor, the Negro must be poor, the Mexican must be poor. I ain't seen that nowhere. Last time I checked, Jay-Z a black billionaire. Now you can say how he got there all you want to, but he went from the Moxie Projects to somewhere totally different. Master P. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of the people that used to think success was DNA related. I thought success was DNA related, man. And when I realized that success and wealth And financial freedom and spiritual growth and all that stuff is not just it has nothing to do with your DNA, but more so with your determination and what you want to do with your time on this earth. Then it's open for the door is open. We all have options. You have the option to discover what's your purpose. You have the option to run from your purpose. You have an option to live a cowardice life. That's your option. You have an option to follow the footsteps of your parents. If your parents live a ratchet lifestyle and you want to follow that, then go for it. I don't understand how someone can resent their childhood and then turn around and do that same thing to their children. That don't make sense to me. If your parents wasn't involved in your life, then you come up and you have children, you don't be in your child's life, but you hated how your parents wasn't in your life. You was a goddamn hypocrite. How you gonna treat somebody how you didn't want to be treated, how you didn't like being treated? That don't make no damn sense. I don't care what you're going through with the mother or the father of that child. That child didn't ask to be here, just like we didn't ask to be here, just like you didn't ask to be here. You accept your damn responsibilities and do what you got to do. And learn from your mistakes of planting seeds where you don't want to harvest. You don't plant seeds where you don't want to reap the harvest. You know what I'm saying? You plant seeds when you want the harvest. So, again, purpose. How many people can you, matter of fact, forget how many people's lives you can empower the moment you accept your purpose, but how is accepting your purpose going to benefit your life? I can tell you how it's benefited mine, because I sleep a lot better since I realized that I have a purpose and I am doing my best to pursue that. I have not fulfilled it yet, but I have an idea what it is, and I'm doing my best to master that and to fulfill that area. All I'm asking for you to do is to start looking at your life and finding out who you are and why God blessed you to make it through the channels of your mother's womb. You made it. Do you know how many sperm cells come through a man's throughout the ejaculation process? You made it to that egg. You made it to the delivery room. You made it past morning sickness. You made it. And you mean to tell me, man, let me tell you something. Go study the birthing process and see what the hell we had to go through just to get here. And then you come outside your mother's womb and you think that life is going to be easy and everything is going to be great. I don't care if you was born with a platinum spoon in your mouth. You still going to have your own obstacles. You still got to discover what your purpose is. You still got to figure out who you are. Your enemy know who you are. That's why you got a crack house on every other block. Your enemy know who you are. That's why there's a McDonald's popping up and Burger King's popping up in your community. Take yourself outside of your 5-mile radius and travel to them other areas that you wish you could live in and see what you see. Do a comparison. Start looking to see how many liquor stores is in their vicinities. Look and see how many abandoned buildings is in their vicinity. Look and see how many liquor stores and crack houses and police stations and all the stuff that we have right in our face that's normal to us. And then you tell me what you come back with. And then find out, why is it like that? Why is there a big difference like that? One reason it's like that because we think that's the way it's supposed to be. Right? Another reason why it's like that is because we have gotten to a place where we don't care about where we live at. We tag up our own neighborhood. Think about that. We go around, we tag up our own neighborhood, we rob our own people, we destroying ourselves. Of course, like I'm telling you, somebody's putting these thoughts and this stuff in our mind, and these actions is being controlled through like I told you, through social media, through the music, through what we watching on television, when we watching in the theaters, we ain't reading nothing, but you know, the things. The drama that we engage in, the wasteless time. Like, let me tell you something, man. If you call my phone and you ain't talking about nothing, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna just hang up. Straight up. My time is valuable. And I realize that every second I can't get back. If I give you 5 minutes of my time, there's no way possible you could say, okay, let me give you 5 minutes back. It doesn't work like that. If I give you $5, you can give me back $5. You can even give me back the same $5 if you didn't use it. You see what I'm saying? But you can't give me my time back. You can't not rewind time and say, here go your 5 minutes. Here go your 10 seconds. Yesterday, I had a phone call with one of my mentors. It lasted 2 hours and 14 minutes. 2 hours and 14 minutes. How I know? I went back and looked. Why did it last that long? I said it's my mentor. We're talking about valuable stuff, adding value to not only just me, but to each other. Going over ideas and looking into different things and just really understanding that time is valuable. I've not got time to talk about nothing. We have people that sit around the round table all day, every day, and find ways to keep us poverty-stricken, distracted, and confused. Why? Because they know our power. They know our potential. They know that if we unite, they know if we just get focused, they know that if we start reading, if we start praying, if we start studying, oh, don't start fasting. That's going to make you even stronger. You start fasting. You ain't eating Popeye's chicken. You ain't going to McDonald's. You saving your money. Oh, they don't want that. They don't want that. They want you to spend your money. Taco Bell, I think they stay up to 2 a.m. They call it the snack hours or something, the crunch munchy hours or something like that. You know who they targeting? They targeting cats coming home from the club. Who they targeting? Let me tell you, I did the late night scene in taxi cab. Them people, they know when they tipsy coming up out of them club halfway asleep, they know where they want to go order their menu from. Out here, we got a restaurant called Filiberto's that's open 24/7. It's located all over Arizona. They welcomed everywhere. And we still got Jack in the Box. As everybody knows, Jack in the Box is 24/7. You know what I'm saying? They have these places, and if we stop spending our money with them, and we start spending our money with ourselves, not just ourselves as in going to support other black businesses. I'm not talking about that part yet. What I'm talking about is taking your hard-earned money and reinvesting into you. What do you need? What is going to help you to see or to even just get to a different position in life? I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. But again, remember, your enemy know who you are. So they are doing things to keep you distracted. They're doing things deliberately to keep you weak. We have a choice to make immediately. We start educating ourselves, we start applying that education, and we start using that education to empower ourselves in our community, and we make sure that we leave our community better than how we found it. I was joking a few years ago, and I said I was going to buy the King Manors. I thought the King Manors was a city property of Pasadena. After I said it, time went on, but I was put in a position to find out that the community manors, the King's Manors, the community arms and the King Manors is privately owned. They privately owned, so I think I'm gonna revisit the idea of buying the projects. Give me about 3 or 5. I think I might do that, and I'm gonna show my community at home and abroad that we can do whatever we're willing to work for. We can do whatever we are willing to work for. Remember, you have an enemy, and he's keeping you thinking a certain type of way. Ask yourself why. Share this video. It's the Wellness Preacher. I hope I said something to empower you, to encourage you, to inspire you to find your purpose, to get out of this loophole of repeating things in your life and take and embrace what you were born to do and remove all excuses. Nipsey Hussle called it the marathon. I've been calling it Fight for Life, No Excuses for the last 7 years. I'm going to say it one more time. Fight for life, no excuses. It's time that we accept that we have to condition ourselves mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. You cannot go to war broke. That's all I'm going to say. Peace.